Hello, guys. You all are welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, guys, we'll be making the spiral turban. Okay, this turban is very trickish. It's more like that trending turban beret, but this one I call it a spiral turban. Okay, so this is really very, very lovely. But to know how I did this from beginning to the end, stay tuned, okay? And it's beginners friendly. I explained it very well. So just stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe if you are yet to click on the subscribe button, okay? And thank you all to all my returning subscribers. You all are great and I love you. Thank you so much. Now guys, let's dive into the tutorial. Let's go. So to make this turban, initially I had 25 inches width at circumference and 25 inches length, but I would advise you to make the length of yours 35 inches. Yeah, 35 inches length is okay because I later added something to the length of this one. So do yours 25 inches by 35 inches length, okay? 25 inches along the stretchy part and 35 inches along the non-stretchy part. So for the band we have 4 inches by 15 inches, okay, 15 inches along the stretchy part and 4 inches for length. So this is the way you just place it, just like the way you sew your normal turban. That's just the way. Just make your normal v-band turban shape, okay? Just lay the first one down and then you lay the second one down. Then you fold your fabric into two to indicate the midpoint, okay, because we'll be needing that in this tutorial. So we formed our v shape for our for the band. Now you fold your fabric into two and you indicate the midpoint. You can see where I notched. That's the midpoint of this fabric. That is along the 25 inches, okay? So the right side should be facing up while the wrong side is facing the table. Now you make sure that the point where your band formed the V shape is at the same, like it's in line with the midpoint you indicated on your fabric, on your main fabric. So having that in mind, then having set that and arranged it very well, you pin down. You can pin the rest of the band down to help you when you are sewing, but for me I just pinned down this very point. Then I went ahead to sew. So we'll be sewing from one end to the other end, okay? You just sew from the top to the bottom and you remember to curve it at that v-band area, okay? So after I was done, this is what I had, okay? See the V shape, it's really very beautiful and laying so flat. Now we'll be cutting off the excess that we have at that point. Just trim it off, okay, so that it's not bulky at that very area. So at this point I'm done and this is what I have. Now you see we'll be starting our story proper. Now from that point where you joined your band to you mark 4 inches, okay, you mark it straight down from the point where you joined your band. That this is the right side, okay? I made the markings on the right side, okay? So you mark 4 inches from the beginning to the end of that, okay, just like that. You start from the top to the bottom, like just mark from that point where you join the band to the 4 inches, okay? Then you join it with your straight ruler, okay? You can see mine. I used the yellow chalk for this, so it may not be so clear, okay, but the chalk is not so visible, but you can see a trace of it. I marked the 4 inches straight down, okay? Now we are done with this. We'll be making another marking, okay? Just this markings, I'm making it so as to explain it very, very well to all of us. From that point where we marked the 4 inches, we'll be making another mark. From that point, you mark 2 inches. Guys, if you have any question, just drop it at the comment section, okay? From that point, this very point where you mark the 4 inches, you make another 2 inches mark. Just the same way you trace down the 4 inches, you do the same for the 2 inches, okay? You mark it down and then you use your straight ruler to join. Now, this is right the trickish part. You see, at this point, we are done marking the two lines, the first 4 inches and the second 2 inches. Okay, now we'll be picking the one of the 2 inches. You just pick it like you want to sew it. Just pick that point, pick that line that you mark, the 2 inches line. Just pick it. You see, I don't know if you can see it clearly. No, it's not so visible, but I picked the line, that 2 inches line. This will make it easier for you when you are sewing. So I don't know. I'm trying to show you the markings that you can see the 2 inches line that I marked. That is the point where I picked. Then after you picked it, you sew on the 4 inches line. Remember that we marked all those lines on the right side. So you sew it on the 4 inches line straight down. Okay, at this point I was done sewing, and this is it. This is what it looks like. This is the right side, remember. And remember, guys, to tell you something, to make this spiral design, this spiral turban, you need a very stretchy fabric. A very stretchy fabric. Okay, you can't do this with a little stretchy fabric. Okay, this my fabric was very, very stretchy, so it gave me that spiral, those beautiful spirals you saw. Okay, so we are done with the first pleat. Now, from the point where we made the pleat, we'll be tracing down a space of 1.5 inches. Okay, you can make yours 1 inch, but 1.5 is very good. It's not bad. Just make yours 1 inch, 1.5 inches. It's good. Okay, this is the space that will be leaving in between the pleats. Okay, you mark it same way you make the markings for the others. You trace this one down and you join it with your straight ruler. You can see it's 1.5 inches from the first pleats we made. So guys, remember, this is a very stretchy fabric. So my advice is that when you're making this, just so the next one will be on, will from the 1.5 inches mark, we'll be making another 2 inches mark. Remember that 2 inches is the point where we pick for our plates. So you will be making that 2 inches mark, okay? And then you pick it again, just like you did for the first plate. You leave the 1.5 inches line, okay, then you pick the 2 inches line. That is the way to achieve this very beautiful plate. Okay, now you pick the one of the 2 inches line. That is the second line you marked. The 2 inches line, just pick it like this, and then just the same way you sewed for the first one, guys, you'll be sewing on the 1.5 inches line. So guys, you just pick it and then you sew down. Remember that you are sewing on the 1.5 inches line. Okay, you sew on the 1.5 inches line after you pick that 2 inches. Okay, now guys, a little tip for us. Please, when you want to, after picking that 2 inches point, that 2 inches line, please, it's best to just pin down first before you go to sew on the 1.5 inches line. Okay, because as you can see, there's a lot of folds, like it's folding, and if your machine cannot sew yours, just use paper, add paper to it. Okay, that's just a little trick for us. Now we'll be taking another 1.5 inches measurement, okay, from the last pleat. This is just it. You can make as many pleats as you want. Okay, after the 1.5 inches line, you remember, we'll make another 2 inches mark straight down. So you can make as many as you want. Okay, so from that 1.5 inches line, I'll go ahead and then I'll add another 2 inches mark from that point. Okay, so 2 inches mark from that point, I'll trace it down again, and then I'll join with my straight meter rule. Okay, just mark 2 inches from that 1.5 inches line that we drew again. This is just like us making our normal body pleated turban. Okay, you see the two lines again. So now we'll be picking the 2 inches line again. This is just the way you do the pleat for you, okay, for this turban. Okay, just pick it, pick the 2 inches point, the 2 inches line like this. You pick it like this. Just pick it, and then you go and sew on the 1.5 inches line. Okay, you sew on the 1.5 inches line straight down. So guys, this is it. You can do as many pleats as you want. For this very tutorial, I did 5 pleats. Okay, and I had to even add extra fabric, like I told us at the beginning of this video. Please, it's not advisable to join fabric. Just cut enough fabric. It's best that you have excess than to have to add at the end. Okay, this really gave me a hard time because of that joining. Okay, so just don't join at the initial stage. Cut out your 25 inches by 35 inches length. Okay, so at this point, guys, I've made my 5 pleats complete. So this is it. My 5 pleats are complete. Like I told us, please pin down whenever you pick that 2 inches point, because you know that stretchy fabrics has a way of just disorganizing everything and forming their own shape. So just pin down after you pick. So moving on to the boning part, guys. This is a sewable boning. This is the kind of boning that you can sew. Okay, you can sew on this. If you go to the market, you tell them to give you a sewable boning. So I'll be fixing this inside, and this is it. I'll be fixing it inside. This is just how you fix it. Just fix it straight in. You pick your pleats and then you fix. Let me show us. You pick your pleats. Let me show us again. Okay, you pick it. Just pick one pleat like this, like that. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I hope my explanations are good. Then you start fixing it in till you get to the end of the pleat. Okay, till you get to the end of the pleat that you picked. Then not so much as to the end, because you will have to leave about 1.5 inches or 1 inch space at the edge. Okay, you don't add this boning to the end of the fabric. You leave about 1.5 inches space, okay, or 1 inch space. Okay, just leave it at the end like that. Okay, we need an allowance at that end. Okay, so then you take it to your sewing machine and then you sew down. Okay, don't make the stitch so hard, because you will have to lose it later. Okay, just make an easy stitch that will be easy for you to loosen. Then you start pulling. See, from that point where you stitch down, you start pushing it. You are push As you are pushing this, you are stretching the fabric. This is why you don't need a fabric that doesn't stretch so much. If you want to achieve or get a very much coiled effect, then you need your fabric to be very stretchy, not the kind of stretch that will not the kind of fabric that will be easily poked. Okay, so that this bone doesn't poke it, but it should be very stretchy. Like this my fabric, I don't know its name, but it's weighty and stretchy. Okay, it's not so light yet, it's stretchy, very stretchy. So this will help you achieve the coils that you want. Okay, so you just push, just like you're seeing me, you just push with all your strength and mind. You are pushing. Just take your time to do this. Okay, it wasn't easy for me at times. My fingers were really feeling the pain. Okay, so just push it as much as possible till you exert the elasticity of the fabric. Just push it so hard, okay, so that it will give you those coils that you want, those beautiful coils. Okay, so this is it. After I was done, I will go stitch down that end again and cut off. Please remember that you need to leave an allowance about 1.5 inches or 1 inch, or at least 1 inch allowance at the end of the before you cut out the boning. Okay, just leave that allowance at that end. Both ends needs to have an allowance. Okay, the boning doesn't need to get to the ends of both sides. Okay, so this time around I'm pushing for the second pleat. Okay, when I get to the end, I leave that my space there, and then I go to my sewing machine and stitch down. Okay, this is just a temporary stitch, so don't make it so hard. Make it so that it's easy for you to lose when you want to lose it. This is just so as to help hold down that bony while you stretch it. Okay, so at this point I'm stretching this. Now you can see the way I'm pulling and stretching the fabric. I'm pushing the pony inside and I'm stretching the fabric at the same time. So just take your time to do this. Just take your time, okay, guys? Take your time and do this. Don't forget, if you have any question at all, please, the comment section is open. If you have any question, you can tell me what you think about this tutorial. Tell me something. Just tell me what you like about the tutorial. Yes, don't forget to leave an allowance at this end. Okay, don't forget to like this very video, guys. Please like this video, share, and even subscribe if you're here to subscribe. Thank you to all my returning subscribers. I love you guys, and thank you guys for the 1K subscribers. Seriously, thank you so very much. So at this point I'm done fixing this the boning for the second pleat. Now go finish the rest off camera because we need to save time. Okay, the video is long enough already. So now guys, at this point we are getting to the hardest part of this very video. This tutorial, making this wasn't easy, but it came out beautiful and almost perfect. I said almost because maybe it's not so. It's perfect anyway, but I think if I hadn't joined the fabric, if I had cut out enough fabric at the initial stage, like I told you, I would have called it perfect. But that joining at that point really gave me a hard time, so I didn't call this perfect. But it's a perfect, beautiful turban spiral. Okay, make yours perfect by cutting out enough fabric, 25 inches by at least 35 inches length. Okay, so now guys, I'm folding my all the stress you see me doing at this point is because I'm actually trying to fold this fabric into two. Jeez, this was really hard to fold into two. But guys, don't worry. This tutorial, you will understand it better as we make yours, okay? Just fold it into two. Fold your band first into two, the band area, okay? Fold it into two first, and then you take your head circumference. Remember, this is a very stretchy fabric. Hence, you don't need to take your exact head circumference. Hence, it would be kind of loose on your head circumference. Okay, so just at your head circumference, just take at least, if your head circumference is 22 inches, you can do it 20. Okay, that means 10 inches on a fold. So just take your head circumference measurement. To do this tutorial, you must have already known how to make your normal turban. Okay, so if you don't, I have tutorials on this channel that where I taught how to make a turban. Okay, so just fold into two, and then you go to your sewing machine and stitch down. Okay, I'll be taking us to my sewing machine so that we see at least what I did. It was a struggle, guys. This was a struggle. I spent minutes here folding and re-unfolding. Just take your time. All I'm trying to tell us is don't rush this. Take your time, and this is the hardest, but it's the hardest part of this tutorial. This point where you need to fold into two, because you need to push all the spirals inside, and you know that this is a boning, so they are just popping out and disturbing what you are sewing. So as you're sewing, guys, remember the boning from the right side should be on top of the boning from the left side. Like, they should match. Okay, when you fold into two, you make sure that they are matching. Okay, you mash them together so that you don't have one up, one down. Just mash them together, laying them on each other. You see, that's the reason why I brought us to my sewing machine, despite the fact that it was really, my phone was at risk of disturbing or breaking because of the way I placed the camera. Okay, see guys, just the way you see me doing, fold it, arrange the boning on each other. You know, you folded into two, so the boning, the first boning from the one laying down, and the first boning from the one on top, okay, should be meeting each other. Like, just align your boning. This is the secret here. Okay, just align it, and then you are sewing, and take it easily so you don't break your needle. I actually broke one needle. I actually broke my needle, and I had to fix another one. Then I now took it easily, slowly, because at this point I was already tired of this very turban. And the point is that it's a white, and I wanted to go to church with it the next day, and I didn't want it to have any stain or so I was just, it was at this point I was already stressed out. But if you're making yours, and this is my first time making this tutorial, okay, this is my first time forming this. Okay, another tutorial I'll be dropping should be the one on the spiral beret. Guys, if you want me to drop a tutorial on the spiral beret, that is the trendy one. I know that there are already lots of videos on the spiral barrettes, but if you still want me to drop mine, you can tell me on the comment section. Okay, so guys, just take your time and do this I call a spiral barrette. Okay, so guys, this is what we had after we were done folding into two and stitching down. You can see I stitched down from one end to the end, and then I now trim off the allowance there because we don't want all these bulky things. I trimmed off the allowance only at the band area, okay? I didn't trim the one on the body of the turban. I trimmed off the one on the band area because the one on the turban, on the body of the turban is needed. Now guys, this is another part of this tutorial where you need to know, okay, because of the boning that we did earlier, if you leave it like this, it will be poking you, like it will be disturbing you on your head when you wear it. So just loosen that thread that you joined earlier, okay, and then you cut off the excess boning at that point. This is the way you do it for all the boning that you see out there, okay? Just take your time and cut them off, trim them off, lose the thread that you sewed initially, and then you cut them off. Make sure you trim them down to the barest minimum, okay? And again, guys, don't forget, ask your questions in the comment section. If there's anything you don't understand, please drop your question and take your time. If you don't understand this video the first time, watch again, okay, until you understand. Nothing good comes so easily, okay? But if you have any particular question, drop it for me in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. Guys, don't forget to share this video. I'm telling you, there are lots of people. I wore this to church. There were lots of people imagining, trying to know how I made this, okay? So just share with someone you think would be interested, okay? Share it, okay? This is a wonderful tutorial. If you think it's a beautiful tutorial, please tell me also, okay? Encourage me in the comment section. Like the video, share it, okay? Now we're doing our running stitch like we do for our normal body turban. We'll leave the band area, we'll start after the band area, okay, and then we'll do our running stitch just to gather it a bit till to the midpoint, okay? Just the way we do our running stitch for our normal top pan, we'll gather it till that point, okay? We'll gather it to this point and then we'll knot our thread, okay? So guys, don't forget to tell me what you think about this tutorial. Thank you so much if you've watched to this point. I'm really so grateful. If I upload and you don't watch, what would I think, what would it encourage me? But thank you so much for taking out time to watch this video. I love you and God bless you. God will help you to understand even better. And if you have your own idea, don't forget to even tell me, okay? Thank you. This was me on a Sunday, okay? Oh, it was so beautiful and I loved it. Thank you all. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you. See you in my next video. Bye.